Well, it is the big headline today. Election 2009, the governor's race in New Jersey, extremely tight right now. And there are new concerns about the possibility there of voter fraud. A surge in requests for absentee ballots is what has raised some red flags here. And John Fund is a columnist for the Wall Street Journal and the author of this book, How the Obama Administration Threatens to Undermine Our Elections. So this is obviously something, John, that you feel strongly about, that you've written about quite a bit. Tell me, what the evidence is that there may be a reason to be concerned today in New Jersey.
In July, New Jersey changed its law under Democratic Governor John Corzine, basically made it much easier to cast absentee ballots. The problem in New Jersey is they allow people to pick up absentee ballot applications, take them around, have people fill them out, return them, and then allow them to deliver the actual ballots and then return them. So in other words, you have basically private political operatives.
But they allow you to pick up a bunch of them? Because I was going to have to get one, and I had to go get, you have to prove who you are, and you have to say, here's my ID.
Well, you can take the application, then you take it to the voter fills it out, you take the application back, then you get the ballot, and then you can bring the ballot back. The problem is the government doesn't have supervision over that process. And look what happened in Camden. In 2005, the last governor's race, 200 absentee ballots cast in that city. This year, 3,000. Why the incredible increase? I think it's because there's some shenanigans. I spoke to 2 voters in Camden who said, we did not ask for absentee ballots, but somebody filled them out and voted for us.
So they're saying, here's an easier way to vote? Is that what's happening there?
They come with a bunch of papers. They don't explain it.
Who are they?
Go door to door. Campaign operatives, but they don't identify themselves. But they're going to people with limited English ability and explaining we have la nueva forma de votar, a new way of voting. And we also have people...
Now, that happened a few years back as well, right?
In Philadelphia, just across the river.
Just to clarify.
And a federal judge threw out that election because there were so many illegal absentee ballots cast in that election. I think some of the Philadelphia people have come over to New Jersey and are practicing their craft there.
People from New Jersey are very nervous about this because we've had a lot of corruption in our state. There were about 44, state officials that were arrested over the course of the summer. Not that there's any connection to this particular election from that.
But there are 19 people separately who've been indicted on voter fraud in New Jersey just the last few weeks.
To watch it very closely, which I think is very valid to bring up. And the other reason is that this is a very tight race. Do you think that we're going to be in a situation in New Jersey where we're not going to know tonight and that we could see a recount possibly?
Well, that happened in 1981 when the race was decided by 1,800 votes and they went through a month-long recount. Now, in a recount, what becomes important are provisional ballots. These are ballots that we aren't sure if the voter is eligible or not, and they're set is so close, and there are more provisional ballots than the margin of victory between the two candidates, then you can have legal fights about those provisional ballots for weeks and months.
I just want to get in one other thing that you wrote something about that I wanted to ask you. You reported that John Corzine, the governor of New Jersey, that he felt that there was some indication that the White House might want to push him out. They might want a different candidate to run in New Jersey. That astounded me because we've seen all these pictures of Governor Corzine and President Obama hand in hand at all these rallies looking like they're best friends.
Well, I think that it's an alliance of convenience. Governor Corzine's poll numbers were so low this summer, Barack Obama sent in his own pollster and basically inserted into the Corzine campaign and said, you listen to this guy, we're taking over part of your campaign strategy. At the same time, Corzine felt that if he didn't allow this to happen, they were going to substitute him like they did Senator Torricelli a few years ago. They simply switched him for another candidate at the last minute, and they would have put in someone like New York Mayor Cory Booker, who might have been a stronger candidate. In the end, they decided they could save Corzine, and he's come back from behind. But I think this shows just how unpopular John Corzine was and how scared the White House was that New Jersey was going to be in play last summer.
And if Corzine wins, it could be a testament to the White House's strength in these races because he did the opposite, right? He distanced himself from the White House.
John Corzine's negative campaign strategy has worked. He has damaged the Republican candidate, and he's clawed back from almost certain defeat.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to watch tonight. We know you'll be covering it along with us. Thank you very much, John Fund.
Thank you.
Of the Wall Street Journal.